It is Y105, Dubuque's #1 hit music station. My name is Steve Pulaski. My next guest is another alum of the popular digital media company Tastemade, and you know I'm a big fan of them. He's the host of All Up in My Grill, which is readying the premiere of its 5th season right in the middle of Tastemade's Grill Week, hosted by Andrew Zimmern. All Up in My Grill Season 5 premieres on Wednesday, July 2nd at 7:30 p.m., streaming on Tastemade, and you can watch Grill Week all day from June 30th to July 4th, also streaming on Tastemade. He is Chef Dale Talde. Dale, how are we today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Dale. For those who have yet to check out All Up in My Grill, what is the show all about in your words?
So for me, the show is about getting you out on your grill and having you understand that your grill is basically just like an extension of your kitchen from inside, and kind of, break down those barriers, break down those fears of getting on the grill and taking your grill to the next level, right? Burgers, hot dogs, boneless, skinless, chicken breast. We've all done it. Now let's elevate. Let's take some risks and take some chances and get yourself out there with a frosty beverage in your hand and enjoy the weather while cooking up a tasty meal.
That all sounds good to me. Pull back the curtain a little bit, Dale. What surprises are in store for Season 5? Obviously, don't reveal everything, but what can people expect from this season uniquely?
Yeah, we're leveling up. We've leveled up every season. Season 5 from 1 to 5. We're a really technique-driven this season, and while we might have pared down some of the recipes, we've kicked up the technique, and we're trying to teach you and get to that point where, it starts to be intuitive. Grilling starts to be intuitive. And, you can expect some things like funky live fire cooking equipment like a tandoori grill and a tandoori oven, but also throwing like some pizzas on the grill and enjoying a pizza night while being outside and being on the grill.
I've seen you're everywhere like Airedale. You have done a ton of different things, from cookbooks to owning and operating different restaurants. I just want to give you the opportunity, kind of brag a little bit. Talk about all you've done. What's your background?
Yeah, I've been cooking for the last 25 years. Graduate of Culinary Institute of America, was cooking in Chicago with some amazing chefs, Carrie Nahabidi and John George. Moved out to New York, worked with an amazing restaurateur, Steven Starr, at a place called Budokan, Morimoto, and then in 2012, got on a show called Top Chef. I did season 4 and 8. I judged 18 and been really blessed to be in this TV world where, I did a show called Knife Fight. I'm now kind of linked up in the Guy Fieri world with Tournament of Champions and Guy's Grocery Games and some other fun shows. But, restaurants are my bread and butter. I've got a restaurant in Westchester, New York called Goose Feather. We were James Beard nominated 2022. When we first opened in 2020, we were nominated by Esquire Magazine as Best New Restaurant in America. And, I have a restaurant in Naples, Florida, if you're anywhere down there, Southwest Florida, called Tigress and Easy Tiger Bar. And I also have a restaurant in LaGuardia Airport. If you're ever in Terminal Beach, stop by. It's called Talde Noodle Bar. He
is Chef Dale Talde. Again, Up in My Grill Season 5 premieres Wednesday, July 2nd at 7:30 p.m. A few more questions with you, Dale, while I got you. What was the last thing you ate off the grill, and how was it?
Last thing I ate off the grill. I just visited this really cool. I live in New Jersey now, North New Jersey, and I went to this funky Filipino restaurant, and they have this like Chinese pork barbecue sticks, and it's really just like pork shoulder meat that's cut, marinated in kind of a sweet and salty marinade, and soy based, and it was just had it for lunch. So grilled with some rice and some pickled vegetables, and it was a delightful little treat.
What is a common mistake people make when grilling that they might not even realize?
I think the most important thing about a grill and when you're grilling and you're cooking on it is, one, seasoning. Seasoning whatever protein, vegetable you have a little bit more than you would normally, because, you're on an apparatus where the salt and pepper or spices you have might fall through the grate. So seasoning is one, but also high heat. I'd rather have a grill that's hotter than lower, it's not as hot, and understanding that, you need different zones on a grill, right? You want to char something really hot, and you want to put it on another side of the grill that's not as hot. And quite often I turn it off the other side of the grill and then lower the lid on the grills if I can to make sure that it cooks through. But hot and a cold zone. Really important.
I've talked to Frankie Salenza and some other chefs who have very strong opinions on Himalayan pink salt in particular. Many think it's needless and expensive, and I get that. But I've seen that there are these Himalayan pink salt grilling slabs. Are you familiar with those? What's your opinion on those?
I am. You know what I like using those for? is fish-based stuff, right? Because oftentimes you don't need super high heat for fish. Sometimes you like cooking it more gently, and then it helps season it. And I think those soft blocks are great for also for like aging meat and aging for aging things. So if you have a refrigerator that is kind of like your beverage cooler, putting a steak in there a couple of days before a big fat steak, putting it in there a couple of days beforehand just to dry it out and get some moisture out of the steak, but then putting that pink Himalayan salt block in there while it's doing that. I like to do that. I think that that helps. But as a real cooking method, I don't know. I think it's really pretty and it's a good show. And that's what entertaining and hospitality is about, right? It's part of the show. So listen, if you love it, use it. If you don't.
Is there something that you love to grill or think is just exceptional off the grill, but it's not super common? Like you don't see people, grilling it very often. Is there like an underrated food in your opinion that is just perfection off the grill when done right?
I will say this. I think tomatoes on a grill are one of the easiest ways to make a sauce. A ripe tomato, charring it so hard where the skin kind of almost falls off. But once that tomato is really tender in the middle, pulling it off and just, a couple glugs of olive oil, some salt, little fresh grated garlic into that, smashing it up and then finishing with a little vinegar. It's a really beautiful accompaniment to any grilled meat that you have, whether it's fish or chicken or pork or beef. I like just having that on the side and then people can kind of spoon it over that or just dip their bread into it. So tomatoes for me, I love on the grill, even if they're not like the most ripe. I think getting it charred on the grill and then you can kind of smash it and it makes almost a little like chutney / sauce. Phenomenal.
That's excellent insight right there. You mentioned it earlier. You grew up in Chicago. What places are doing grilled food the best out there in your opinion?
I'll always nod. My chef, Carrie Nahabedian at Brendeel, she grills a lot and, she's a proponent of game. So she generally, if it's in season, if it's game meats in season, she'll grill squab or a piece of venison. It's fantastic. Brendeel in Chicago, fantastic. And then I have a buddy who's partners in Asador Bastion. It's probably one of the best steakhouses in the country, if not Chicago. It's Basque inspired, and they're cooking a lot of their stuff, almost everything over their proteins over a wood burning grill and charcoal. And you're talking about funky cuts. Vintage beef, beef that's probably cattle that's probably 5, 6, 7 years old. They're doing anything from that to Wagyu to, very aged or older cattle from the Basque region of Spain, and it's lights out good.
He is Chef Dale Talde. Again, season 5 of his show, All Up in My Grill, premieres Wednesday, July 2nd at 7:30 p.m. on Tastemade, right in the middle of Grill Week. Dale, I want to give you the final word. Anything that you want to touch on about All Up in My Grill? If you want to plug your social medias, whatever the case may be, man, you get the final word.
Awesome, man. Tune in, guys. Season 5, we're excited. We're leveling up. We might be paring down some things, but technique is on a high. And catch me on Instagram at Dale Talde, and you'll see, I'm so inspired from this last season that we're going to be doing a lot of live fire cooking on my social media and on my Instagram, so catch it. Later on in July, we'll be kind of releasing some videos and just kind of showing you guys the ins and outs of wood-burning grills.
Dale, I greatly appreciate your time. Cannot wait for the new season of All Up in My Grill. Wishing nothing but the best, man.
Cheers, man. Thank you for having me.